This is going to be a bit of a different video, because today we're diving into a prototype that's set to launch in just a few days. In the weeks that I've been using it, it has blown my mind. So if you're considering adding this espresso machine to your coffee bar, you'll want to stick around. Hi, I'm Liz, pro barista and former cafe manager, and I believe that enjoying good coffee should not be a luxury. But for many, this machine might just be the definition of luxury. So let's take a closer look. This is the Meraki Espresso machine, an all-in-one solution for home espresso enthusiasts. Imagine a machine that combines cutting-edge technology with practical functionality, all wrapped up in a design that's as slick as it is functional. The Meraki is not just about brewing coffee, it's about delivering a barista-level experience right to your home. From its dual interface that allows for both manual and semi-automatic operation to its high-end features like a dual boiler and a rotary pump, the Meraki is designed to cater to both beginners and seasoned baristas alike. But as impressive as it sounds, it's not without its challenges. Today, I'll guide you through the pros and cons so you can decide if it's worth the investment in backing up the Kickstarter at this stage. Now, a quick note. This is the second version of the prototype that Meraki has sent out to testers. They've been continuously refining it, and this review is entirely based on my personal experience. No sponsorship here, just an honest take from a daily user. Let's start with what I love about this machine. The dual interface is a standout. Whether you prefer the hands-on approach of manual brewing or the convenience of semi-automatic, the Meraki has you covered. You can grind by weight, brew by weight, and the machine will automatically stop the shot or steaming when the perfect temperature and volume are reached. Or you can choose to use the elements separately and start and stop as you wish. This level of control is usually reserved for much pricier machines. All of these features can be controlled using the touchscreen, which is not only responsive but also incredibly intuitive, making the brewing process smooth and enjoyable. A small detail is that this duality works only for the brewing and steaming elements. It's a different story for the grinder. I'll expand on this later. But honestly, one of the most impressive features of the machine is the built-in grinder. It's a timer grinding module. Timer has been in the grinder coffee scene for over a decade now, and the brand has made a name for itself with their precise, high-quality grinders. The Meraki comes equipped with a magnetic dosing cup that always stays in place below the chute, and a silicone base as well to protect the scale. You can manually adjust grind size with this stepless dial here. It doesn't run as smooth as you'd think, but this is something that Meraki is aware of and currently working on for the final version of this machine. Once you set your ideal grind size, it will grind by weight, relying on the responsive scale below. The grinding process is fairly quiet, and in the time that I've been testing it, I've noticed a small variation of 0.1 up to 0.2 grams that is clearly marked on the screen. But let's jump into the juicy part as it relates to brewing. The Meraki comes with a dual boiler and a rotary pump, both features that you typically find in high-end, much more expensive commercial machines. The dual boiler design with dual PID control allows for independent and simultaneous operation of the brewing and steaming systems. In all of my testing, I've been able to pull shot after shot seamlessly, as well as simultaneously without any loss of temperature or delay. You only have to wait for a brief preheating period before you get going. And by the way, I love that I can control the brewing temperature as well, ranging from 85 to 96 degrees Celsius or 185 to 204 degrees Fahrenheit. As for the steaming, you can set it between 45 to 70 degrees Celsius. Now let's talk about pressure. As I said before, Meraki comes with a 9-bar rotary pump. And while there's no visible pressure gauge, and you can't actually have a close look at the pressure changes during extraction, the machine will let you know if the pressure is too high or too low, so you can make any necessary changes to grind size, dose, or desired yield. During testing, I kept extracting shots back to back and still haven't encountered any delays or apparent loss of pressure so far. It is also really quiet, and I'd like to believe it will be reliable long-term. Something that positively surprised me is that Meraki seemingly thought this out for beginners. Anyone could learn how to operate this machine, at least from a basic point of view, and get good coffee right away. They made sure to include a tamping station, wedge distributor, tamper, blind portafilter basket for cleaning, a brush, a towel, and even pH testing strips for your water. It's almost like they thought about everything. Almost. It's time to talk about drawbacks. And before we do, if you're getting value from this video, please consider liking it and subscribing to my channel. Your support really helps me grow and keep opening up these discussions for more coffee lovers. So in terms of drawbacks, perhaps the most notable is the build quality and the materials. The machine is evidently mostly plastic, which a lot of people are not a fan of. although they made sure to use food-grade aluminum and stainless steel in the more demanding areas, and even upgraded to this lovely wooden portafilter handle. So overall, it feels solid, but there are little details like the quality of the tamping station, the distributor, the tamper that don't feel quite premium. The same goes for the brew grinder and the steaming paddles, which can feel a little bit wonky. Meraki is aware and currently working a metal tooling process for the final version of this machine. Although it's understandable they made cuts in elements like the accessories to focus on what matters most. Personally, what has shocked me the most is how the portafilter feels when locking in the group head. It's almost like it's grinding in there, but the more I've used it, the smoother it's gotten. It's also important to remind ourselves that this is a prototype and not a final unit. Next, we have the grinder. While powerful, it has a hopper that can lead to beans going stale if they're not used quickly. It's also trickier to change in between coffees if you like jumping from one to the next instead of sitting with the same bag for a while. And here's another potential issue. The grinder is entirely controlled through the touchscreen. So what happens if the screen fails? You're left without a way to grind your coffee, which could be a deal breaker for some. Then there's the size of the machine. The Meraki is a beast, weighing in about 15 kilograms or 33 pounds. It takes a significant amount of counter space, which is something to consider if your kitchen is on the smaller side. Of course, if you have this one, you will need to buy a separate grinder, which is a win. Another point of caution is the steam wand. It is powerful and effective. Honestly, what a joy to steam with it. But it's also very exposed, making it easy to accidentally burn yourself if you're not careful. They did make sure to include a towel for you to use when operating the steam wand, so kudos for the detail. Another little thing that I don't personally think is a big deal, but some might, is the fact that the portafilter is not compatible with other machines. If you've got a setup with multiple machines, or if you ever need to replace it, you're locked with Meraki's ecosystem. But it's very good to mention that the portafilter is convertible, so you're able to remove the spout and the base and pull shots out of a naked portafilter. So for the time being, you may not need to do much in this regard, and you can always upgrade to a precision basket if you want to, as the portafilter is industry standard 58mm wide. Now here's one of the main things I've been liking about this brand. A brand that pretty much feels like they came out of nowhere. Most of the videos out there are based on the first prototype. They have been continuously upgrading their device while the Kickstarter campaign is in progress. From what I've experienced, they're in constant communication with backers and take feedback very seriously. This unit has already got many upgrades that came from the feedback on the previous prototype, and I know that their production unit will be even better than the one I've got here. With this said, the Meraki Espresso machine is a powerful, feature-packed machine that's pushing the boundaries of home espresso making. It's got the potential to deliver cafe-quality coffee in your own home, but it's not without its quirks. Whether you're a seasoned barista looking for a new toy or a home enthusiast wanting to elevate your coffee game, the Meraki could be a great fit if you can live with its few imperfections. If you're intrigued, definitely check out their Kickstarter page or wait for the official release. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts or your questions about it. Drop a comment below and let's talk coffee. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.